Good evening. This is Rachel with Infused Meadows, and tonight I'm making my hot chicken salad. Okay. Of course, I had to forget something. Alright. All I've done so far is cut up my chicken into bite-sized pieces, and then into this I'm going to add some dry sherry. I'm going to go in with, hang on, to you men out there, please do not close the bottles manly. Us women struggle. Okay, thank goodness for this. Alright, so just a little helpful tip there, okay? I'm going to do a half a tablespoon of the dry sherry. Now, if you don't have dry sherry, feel free to go in with just a little bit of chicken broth. I do this because I'm not making a whole cup of chicken broth just for that one little bit that I needed. Okay? I'm going to add just a pinch of salt, literally. I'm going to add about a tablespoon, let's just say 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of my blackening seasoning. And I've done a video showing you how to do the blackening. And it is because this is our flavor that's going in with the olive oil. Okay? So, all I'm going to do now is toss this chicken around. I want to try to get everything coated in the seasoning and in that cornstarch, especially the cornstarch. The cornstarch will help break down those fibers and help the chicken to be soft and nice and tender and lovely. Okay. And as you can see, everything is nice and done. Alright. Now, I am going to go wash my hands and I'm going to let this sit for at least 5 minutes, and then we will be back. So while my chicken is sitting, I will be adding, when we get to the pan, a teaspoon more of the blackening seasoning, and then I'm going to go in with a teaspoon extra of garlic powder and onion powder, because if you've made my blackening, you know that garlic powder and onion powder is already in there. But I'm going to go in with a teaspoon extra. I created this years ago, okay, back when my kids were younger. So this was something that I would do for us. It's just nice. I like it. And I hope that you make it and you like it. But, you know, we're all different. Anyway, so I named it Hot Chicken Salad. That was the fanciest that I got with it. Alright, so anyway, what you're going to need is about a half a bunch of broccoli. Now this is my dehydrated, so I've had this setting for about an hour and for it to reconstitute, okay? And then I have reconstituted, we'll say 2 jalapeno peppers, because that's generally what I would use. Or you can use bell pepper if you don't like spices. I have, one second, let me go get it. Okay, so I have long slivered, julienne style, half of a medium onion. That's going to go into this. I have washed about, I don't know, a cup and a half, roughly, sugar snap peas. So when you go to the store, you buy sugar snap peas in a bag. Not the big bag, just the normal size bag. So 1 normal size bag of sugar snap peas. I have my lettuce already washed and cut up and ready to go. And then I also have some asparagus that I have already washed. And I've broke the bottom. So if you don't know how to do that, when you buy asparagus, unless it says it's already cut, all you're going to do is take your asparagus, grab it about halfway through, you're going to grab the bottom, and you're going to pull. Or twist, however you want to word that. When you do that, it will find the spot that needs to break off. And then you'll do that with every single piece. Now this is for a salad. So when I roast my asparagus in the oven, I do it the same but a little differently. Okay, so I do still need to finish cleaning up my asparagus. Now this was 2 bundles, and we like asparagus and it's good for you. So Let me show you real quick what we'll do with the asparagus. Be right back. So I have myself a paper towel, and what I will do is I will take this and just this last little bit, if you can see that, I'm going to take this off, okay? This part tends to be chewy. That's fine. When I roast it, I do the same thing. This is to help it take in more flavor, okay? And that's all it's only that much. I don't do the whole stem, just that last bit that's generally quite tough. And I'll do that to every single one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. And then we will come back. The chicken should be ready to go into the pan. Like I said, you want to let it sit for at least 5 minutes, okay? So I'll get this done and we will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat on. Now you're going to need a deep pan with a lid for this if you make it. And I'm going to go in with a lot of olive oil. Okay, I need the whole bottom of this pan to have, you know, a little deep. So this is, because this will be spiced up from cooking, this will also turn around and be the dressing on our salad. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So once this is hot, I'm going to put my chicken in and we'll be back. Just so you know, I like to add my chicken just when you see the oil start to shimmer, okay? Because we don't want to scorch that olive oil. But as soon as it starts to shimmer, I'm going to set my chicken in, and I'm going to try to not have it basically overlapping. And then once I turn that chicken, I'm going to go ahead and add in my onions, peppers, and broccoli. And that's because they'll need to cook a little bit longer than when I go to add in my asparagus and the sugar snap peas. The asparagus and sugar snap peas really only need to steam. And so once we get to that point, you'll see that I just lay them across the top and then put the lid on. And that's, you know, all of the heat and stuff will help cook those fairly quickly. And that way, yeah, that way you're not, you know, having to really worry about anything as far as overcooking or burning. So I'm on roughly a medium-low heat. My oil is shimmering. I don't know if you can see that. And you see how I'm trying to lay these in here. And this is what I'm going to do with every bit of this. I know if you have tongs, you can use that or whatever you want. You don't have to use your fingers. I'm just one of those weirdos. When I'm at home, my hands are always clean. I wash them 50 times a day. So, alright, I'm going to get this all in here and we'll be right back. Okay, we've flipped our chicken. Peppers are going in. Broccoli is going in. And onion. Okay. Alright, you're just gonna, you want to stir this up. The chicken, I've turned it completely, so it is nice and cooking. So it won't be completely done yet, which is why now is when I'm putting everything else in. Because I do not want to burn anything, and I especially do not want to overcook that chicken. So we're going to keep doing this until the onions start to look transparent. Not completely, but starting. And we'll be back. Okay, so it's been roughly 1 minute exactly. We're going to sprinkle on that extra 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, sorry, not garlic salt. One teaspoon of the onion powder. And 1 teaspoon of the blackening seasoning. Now, all we want to do at this point is toss this around one more time. I'm going to turn my heat down to low. Add your sugar snaps. And then you're going to go in across the top and you want to lay your asparagus. Now, normally I only do a half, but my husband and I, we like asparagus, and he bought 2 bundles, and I'm not wasting asparagus. So, like I said, I'm not wasting, but normally you want about half of that amount. Alright, what you want to do now is go in with a little bit more olive oil, and you just want to drizzle it across. And then you're going to put your lid on, and you want to let this continue cooking for 5 minutes, okay? And we'll be back. Okay, once your 5 minutes is up, you're going to want to get yourself your lettuce put onto your plates. I go ahead and sprinkle just a little bit of cheese across the lettuce. Unfortunately, I've had to use store grated cheese. I don't normally do that, but I ran into an issue earlier with the block cheese I was going to grate for tonight's dinner. So, it is what it is. My husband had to pick some cheese up on his way home. Alright, this is done. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start putting that onto here. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, so generally what I do is I go through and I pick all the asparagus out with my tongs, and then I set that aside. And then I go in with my salad, and I just put this all over the top of the lettuce. I think you get the idea, so give me just a second. I'm going to pause this and we'll be right back. Okay, so once I have that done, I go in with my asparagus. Now, like I said, normally we do not do this much asparagus, but it is what it is. I think it was on sale or something, and my husband was like, yeah, we like it, grab more. So, you work with it. I'm not going to lose it, and this is not something that I particularly like to dehydrate. So, 1 second. What I do now is I sprinkle a little bit more cheese across the top, and of course you have to put some on your counter because that's what makes it better. The asparagus will actually make this look bigger than what it is. So, here's what we had left for our flavor. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this spoon, and I am literally just going to drizzle some of this over both. Not a lot. Right now I've got about 2 teaspoons on each. There's the third. And there you go. You are literally done. All you got to do now is go sit down and eat. Alright, I hope you find this interesting. Like I said, this is something I created a long, long time ago, and I find it delicious. It is a lot of work, but I find that it's well worth it. I hope that you make this. I hope you love it, if not like it. And if you don't, then I can't tell you to go find the recipe that's right for you, because I created this myself. So, if you don't like it, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm sure you can find some other salad out that it is out there for you. So, as always, have yourself a wonderful day.